for watching 4Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and I have here another edition of graphic storytelling. Graphic storytelling is when a comic when comics back in the day, when comics were still under the Comics Code Authority, and they had that Comics Code Authority seal of approval, they would do things. There would be graphic bits that would kind of shock the reader. And I've shown a couple of examples of those in the past. Today, our issue is an issue of Marvel's What If, number 80, from the Marvel Alterniverse, all right, published in 1995. What if the Hulk had evolved into the Maestro? Now, first thing that you notice about this comic is it sports a wonderful Gary Frank cover. And that's a very impressive cover there. Love that rendition of the Hulk, and so, you know, looking very triumphant over several Marvel heroes there. A couple of, you know, Captain America never shows up, Iron Man never shows up, Spider-Man never shows up, but that's okay. And just so you know, there are spoilers ahead. All right, so you need to be aware that spoilers are coming. Okay, well, what you have here is basically, long story short, in an alternate reality, Doc Samson helps the Hulk, helps Bruce Banner to conquer the fear of his father, the demons that were created in his psyche by his father. And basically, he does it by, child Bruce Banner does it by murdering his father in his head, okay, while he's under hypnosis with the circus master helping Doc Samson there. All right, so it starts off pretty dark, you know, and as a child, Bruce Banner in his mind murders his father, but that produces an early manifestation, evidently, of the Maestro. Now, I'm not here to nitpick about the story, but I'm just here to talk about the the graphic storytelling that we have here. Now, this is a 1995 book, and so you have here the very small seal up here, Comics Code Authority. So now Marvel stopped publishing under the Comics Code Authority in 2001, I believe. And so you still had about 6 years, 5 or 6 years before that happened. But this one shocked me. I remember when I first read this, it kind of shocked me that you have a scene where where it looks like Bruce Banner has become comatose, and the circus master's just there kind of making fun of him and laughing. And then all of a sudden, a big green hand grabs him, and with a splorsh, you see Doc Samson showered with, you know, the ringmaster's blood, gore, and brains, evidently. I guess we can assume, all over him. And so that's the start of the graphic nature of the story there. And it just kind of gets darker from there. Where Samson comes out, you know, to warn Betty, covered in gore, okay, and then Betty rushes in, and she basically asks, you know, where's the circus master? He's behind the door. Oh, ugh, you know, and so there you go. So it starts off pretty dark, and it kind of stays pretty dark. You also have a scene where once, you know, part of the plan for stopping the Hulk involves Reed Richards coming up with a gamma device, which of course ends up just kind of at first seeming like it feeds the Hulk, but then it makes his transformations go kind of catterwampus, you know, as he switches from one Hulk to the other. And the Thing takes advantage of that and attacks, but eventually what happens is, and you have kind of a foretaste there, forewarning of the Maestro about to burst out as Bruce Banner, you know, says, something's happening to me. I'm turning into something even worse than the Hulk, you know, or the worst Hulk. And as Ben Grimm has attacked and been exposed to all those gamma rays, he mutates further. Okay, so it's becoming kind of a creature feature there. But what's really interesting in the last bit of graphic storytelling here is that while he's turning back, Hulk is turning back and forth from Hulk to Bruce Banner, and in a moment when he's back to Bruce Banner, he cries out from behind the Thing, Hulk smash, okay? And the Thing is already on edge, and so in a sense, Bruce Banner commits suicide by thing with a plush. Okay? Not even a squish or a spludge, but a plush. Okay? It's kind of disturbing. Right? Kind of dark for Marvel, even in the 90s. And so, anyway, there's a little bit of graphic storytelling for you there. What If number 80 from 1995. Actually, the cover date is December of 95, even though inside, yeah, it says December 95. So anyway, so you had a few years before they discontinued the Comics Code Seal, but I'm not sure at this point how much it actually meant. Okay, but anyway, there's some graphic storytelling under the Comics Code Authority Seal, and I just thought that was kind of an interesting read. It was a good story. Okay, reached a little bit here and there, but the Kerry Gamble, Ed Benez art is fantastic. I love it, and I've always been a fan of Kerry Gamble's art anyway. And Ed Benez is a good inker, so it just kind of was lots of fun, So anyway, there's some graphic storytelling for you there. What If number 80, 1995. Go out and find it if you like those kind of stories. Of course, who doesn't? What Marvel fan doesn't like a good what if story? Okay, and I haven't given away everything, so, you know, you can still read it and enjoy it and have fun with it. And plus, it's just a really good example of graphic storytelling, okay? Anyway, that's it. Hey, listen, if you haven't subscribed or liked or commented, don't forget to do those things. And if you have, thank you very much, but especially remember to comment. I like the comments. I like the interaction. I like knowing that people are getting something and enjoying, getting something from and enjoying these videos. Anyway, other than that, thanks for watching Four Color Commentary. Don't forget, Friday night, 7 o'clock, we have a live stream. If you haven't seen the ad on, haven't seen the picture on YouTube advertising that, this Friday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, a live stream concentrating on my haul from this year's Pryor Creek Comic-Con in Pryor, Oklahoma. Otherwise, thanks for watching Four Color Commentary, and I'll see you next video.